Check out these ribs, y'all. I'm getting ready to show you how to do it. Make sure you subscribe to my page. Always cooking the goods.
Oh damn. I too big. Oh damn. That's damn good.
Check it out, y'all. We're about to cook these fantastic ribs. Spare ribs, baby backs, Danos, Orion Cookers. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Get ready for this video. I got one of the coolest things that's ever been given to me right here. This is called an Orion Cooker. It's an indirect cooker. It's kind of like a smoker, but it's not. We are gonna put wood chips in here. What we're gonna make today is some ribs. I got 2 baby back ribs and 1 of the other kind. You know what I'm talking about. We're gonna get right to it. Spare ribs. We're gonna light up our coals and we actually put it around the edges. You can put up to 3 racks in here. Take a look at this. See, you can put a rack here, down there, you can put one here, and you can also put one on top. So if you're doing all chicken, you can go 3 racks deep. We're not doing chicken, so we're not gonna use these today. You also have these little doohickeys here. Here's what happens with these. We stick them in just like this. You can cook up to 12 racks of ribs right here. You season them up, you put them on, and you just let them hang, and then you take your top right here, you put that on, and then you put coals up here in the top as well. And what it does is the indirect heat. So we'll just keep the coals hot and keep it all hot, and it's literally made the best chicken wings I've ever had in my life last night. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place our drip pan. This is your little drip pan here. I'm gonna place that down in the bottom. Now what you wanna do is don't push it all the way over to the side. We're gonna center it up. What you wanna do is put the wood chips around the side because that's where all the heat's gonna be, so that's what's gonna burn those wood chips and get that smoke flavor in. They gave me 4 different types of wood chips. This is the pork. So I'm gonna take these wood chips and I'm gonna sprinkle them right around the edge, just like that. If you get some in the actual drip pan, it's not gonna hurt anything. There is also this little collar here, and this is like a drip collar. So basically what we'll do, and you can see here, if I put this down on the bottom, what it does is when we get that grease dripping, it'll hit this and it'll go into our pan instead of just down in the bottom of the cooker, making it dirty and whatnot. Let's go. All right, y'all, so we got our 2 baby backs, and this is our spare rib, New York style spare ribs. They always have this membrane on the backs, so you just kind of grab it and kind of pull it off, like so. Actually, where I bought these, they have actually already pulled the membrane off, so that's very cool. We don't even have to mess with it on the baby backs. We're getting ready to season. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with this Danos. We're gonna spice it up a little bit. Will be fantastic. Danos, spicy Danos. You know there is the green Danos. And while we're at it, I'll go ahead and show you. This is the small bottle. This is the big bottle. Don't waste your time getting the small one, because I promise you, if I had this small bottle, it'd be gone after just seasoning this rack of ribs here, and then you're gonna fall in love with it, and you're gonna want more. Here's what makes Danos special right here. This is all the salt in the whole bottle. It's 50 milligrams of sodium per serving, and that's real sea salt. And then we use real lemon, orange, garlic, onion, rosemary. It's got a great rosemary flavor. The cool thing about Danos is that it is real ingredients and it's made with real sea salt, and there's no sugar, no chemicals, non-GMO, gluten-free. So absolutely amazing for any diet, and it's good if you just love flavor and you don't care about all that. I'm gonna take 1/3 of the bottle left that I have here. It's about 1/3 of a bottle, maybe 1/4 of a bottle. And I'm gonna spice this up. I'm gonna add a little something to it. Since we're doing ribs, you know, it's okay to have a little sugar in there. So I'm gonna use some coconut sugar. I'll probably put about 1/4 of the amount of the seasoning that's in there. A fair amount. It's a lot like brown sugar, but it's just better. It's just healthier for you. You can see how much is in there. Chipotle pepper as well. Interesting fact about chipotle pepper that somebody had to teach me the other day. I got in an argument with somebody telling somebody that a chipotle was a type of pepper. And they were like, no, it's a jalapeno. And I'm like, no, chipotle is a pepper. And they're like, no, it's a jalapeno. And I'm like, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. Turns out, the chipotle pepper is actually a jalapeno turned red. Set it out in the sun, it turns red, and then you smoke it, and that is actually a chipotle. So little tidbit of info for you. You can see how much we're gonna add in there. It's gonna give it a little extra bit of spice. That's a fair amount. So we just made that Dano's just a little bit extra and modified, especially for our ribs. Now if you do this on some ribs and you get in a competition, you might just win. So check this out, we'll just give it a little mixing. Now, next step, before we go sprinkling, you don't have to use a binder, but you can. Today, we're gonna go with this regular old yellow mustard. You don't have to do too much, just one little strip on each side there. We have to keep in mind that we do have to put a slice in between the second and third bone on these so they can fit on our Orion cooker where the little prong is to hang these from. It's set in the directions between the second and third bone, so we're gonna go right here. It's about 1.5 inches wide, so we're gonna cut that slit right there, just like that. Now is the fun part. We call this the trigger finger. The reason why we call this the trigger finger is because we like to squeeze it like this, and it makes a little pop, pop, pop. See, I've already been squeezing this, and so it's kind of dented in a little bit, but that's that pop, pop. You can almost hear it. There we go, pop, pop, pop. If you take this and you just do like this, yeah, the Dano's comes out. But if you squeeze it and hit the trigger finger like this, you don't even have to shake it. It just comes out and evenly coats everything. And that's why we call that the trigger finger, the pop, pop. Let's flip these bad boys over. Another little strip of mustard here. We'll just rub that in. As soon as I get this seasoned, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna fire up our charcoals, and just wait till you see this Orion cooker. It just came in the mail yesterday. They were kind enough to send us a couple cookers. So I'm like, absolutely, we're gonna try this out. It's a totally different way of cooking or outside like grilling than I've ever experienced in my life. It's called a, what do they call it? Not induction. What's it called?
Indirect.
Indirect. It's indirect heat because the charcoal actually sits on the outside of the cooker, so it's just cooking off from the heat source from the outside. But we got some wood chips on the inside that are smoking as well. That easy, my friends. How easy was that? How much did I waste? Hardly any at all. Look how much we still got left. Everybody's like, oh, you used so much seasoning. Really? That was like up to there. It was like 1/6 of the bottle, if that, 1/8 of the bottle. We're heavily coated. We're getting ready to make the best ribs you ever had. I'm very confident of that. So, we'll see you at the grill. All right, here we go. Typically, you probably don't want to do stuff like this wearing Crocs, but you know, I'm pretty careful in what I do. So, since the ones on the top aren't necessarily like right in depth, we're gonna kind of evenly spread them out because we know they'll end up burning. But we know our hotter coals are down in the bottom, so we'll just evenly get these in here. We're gonna put them on just like that, and we're gonna hang it in our smoker. Haha, that's cool. I like it. This is the Orion cap. We're gonna put this on top. These only take about 1.5 hours to cook in the Orion because it's an indirect heat, so it gets super hot and super tender really quick. So we're just gonna put this cap on just like so. And then we're gonna put some coals in the top. And we'll just start to fill that bad boy up. So this isn't adding any flavor to this food. This is just the heat source. We'll give it 1.5 hours. We'll open it up, and you don't want to keep them in there too long because if they start falling off the bone, they're going to end up in the bottom of that cooker. But it's going to be awesome. Stay tuned. Here we go. Check this out. Yeah, baby. Oh my goodness. I was told after about 1 hour and 10 minutes or so, or 1 hour and 30 minutes, that this is like competition style ribs. It's time to take these bad boys, We could probably barbecue sauce them and like throw them back onto a grill and like char them, and then they would start falling off the bone. But we're gonna eat these just like this. Lay them on just like that. Look at that. Wow. I am excited about this. There we go. Dang. I'm learning. My first time using this thing. There we go. Look at that. Final product. It's not falling off the bone. You probably can pull some bones out, but it's not just like falling off the bone. We're gonna cut into it. Oh yeah. Look at that juice. Look at that. Bites off perfectly. If you wanted to, throw some barbecue sauce on them and throw them back on like a regular grill and get a char on them, or just get some barbecue sauce and dip them in. But for just being rubbed down, that's pretty hard to beat. Make sure you like, subscribe to the page. We're gonna keep them coming. Love you. See you next time.
Oh damn. I too big. Oh damn. That thing good.